Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial. I am going to create an ASP.NET Core web application and deploy it to IIS server. So I have Visual Studio open. I will do File, New Project. Then I will look up for ASP.NET Core MVC web application template. For that, I will go to the All Languages. I will select C#. Then I will select All Platforms. And also I will select Web. Here I can see the ASP.NET Core web application model view and controller. So I will select that template. I will rename my project as web app demo. Then I will go ahead and do next. I will keep the same configuration here. So I will keep the .NET 8. Then the authentication type is going to be none. I will go ahead and do create. My application has been created successfully. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create 3 different environments: production, staging, and development. So to do that, I will go ahead and click on debug. Then I will go to the debug properties. By default, I can see that I have 3 profiles: HTTP, HTTPS, and IIS Express. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the HTTP profile, and then I will remove the IIS Express profile as well. Then I will rename the HTTPS profile to development. So to do that, I will click on rename, and then I will name this development. In the environment variable, I will make that the environment variable ASP.NET Core environment has a development value. So I will keep this as it, and then I will duplicate the profile and create another profile which is going to be staging. I will rename that to staging. Then I will make sure that ASP.NET Core environment variable is set to staging. So I will go ahead and change the value to staging. I will do the same thing for production. I will duplicate the profile. Then I will rename that to production. Then I will set the value of the ASP.NET Core environment to production. So we have 3 profiles: development, staging, and production. Perfect. So I will go ahead and close the lens profiles. Then I will go to the properties. Then I will open up the lens settings.json. So here I can see the profiles that I just created: production, staging, and development. So also I can see that I have the IIS settings, so I will remove this as we don't need it. Perfect. I will save the file. So I will go and open up the appsettings.json file, and I can see by default that I have appsettings.development.json. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the appsettings.development.json, and then I will paste that just to rename that to staging. So I will rename that to appsettings.staging. I will do the same thing for production. So I will rename that to production. So it's going to be appsettings.production.json. Now we have 3 appsettings files. So one for development, another one for production, then another one for staging. I will go ahead and add a connection string property in each appsettings file. So I will start with production. I will remove this generated JSON object, and then I will add a property connection string. So I will call it connection string. I will put a value on it. I am connection from production. I will copy this connection string property and reuse it in the other appsettings file. So I will save this file. I will go to the development. I will change this to development. I will do the same thing on staging. Perfect. I will close the files. Now I will go to the controllers folder. Then I will open up the home controller. Under the index action method, I will create a view bag, and I will call it connection. Then I need to put the connection string value in this view bag based on which environment I am in. So if I am under development, this should be a connection string for development. If under staging, it needs to be a connection string for staging, and the same thing for production. I will go ahead and add a configuration property. So I will go and do private read only, and then configuration. Then I will do the dependency injection here. I will use the configuration property to call the connection string from the appsettings file. So to do that, I will use the configuration property, and then I will call the name of the property that I have already in the appsettings file. For example, in staging, my property name is the connection string. So I will go ahead and put the name of the property. Then I will use the view bag to see the value in the HTML. I will go ahead and open up the views. Then I will go to the home folder. I will open up the index.cs HTML. I will replace this text here with the view bag. So I will do the @viewBag connection, and I will save this. I will run the application to make sure that everything is working fine. The application is loading and I can see that the value of the connection string is printed here. So I will run the application under the staging and see if I am getting the correct value. I will change that to staging. Then I will run the application. The browser is loading. Then I can see that I am under staging. So I will do the same thing for production. I will go ahead and select production and run the application. Perfect. The value from connection string is printed. So we are under the production profile. So the ASP.NET Core environment setup is good to go. So I will close the browser. Then we need to publish the application to the IIS server. So before doing so, we need to make sure that we have the IIS server installed on our machine. I will open up the IIS. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a right click on the project. And then I will do publish. I will select folder to publish my application to a local folder or a file share. So I will do next. This is the default path where my application is going to be published. So I will keep it as it and then I will do finish. I will close the window. Then I will click publish. Our application has been published successfully. So I will go ahead to the target location. So these are the published files for our application. And then I will need to create 3 sites on the IIS server. So I will go ahead to the IIS server. I will open up the server. Then I will go to the sites. Then I will add a new site. I will name my site Web App Demo Dev. So also I need to pick up a physical path for that. So I will go ahead and create a physical path. I will open up the C drive. Then I need to go to the init pub. Then under the www root, I need to create a folder for my web application for development environment. I will do a right click and then I will go and do new folder. Then I will call it Web App Demo Dev. I will do the same thing for staging and production. I will go ahead and create a new folder. I will name that stage. And then same thing for production. So we have 3 folders, one for development, one for production, another one for staging. I will select Web App Demo Dev since we are creating an IIS website for development. I will click OK. Here we have a physical path to this folder, which is going to hold the web application for development environment. So for the port, I will create a port 8045 for development. And then I will do OK. Perfect. I will do the same thing again for staging. I will go to sites and add a new site. The site name is going to be Web App Demo Stage. And then the physical path, we are going to select the physical path we just created. I will open up www root. And then I will go ahead and select Web App Demo Stage. And then I will give it 46 and click OK. Same thing again for production. It's going to be this time prod. And then we need to choose a physical path. I will open up init pub, then www root, and then I will select the prod. Then this one is going to be 8047. Perfect. We create 3 IIS sites, one for production, another one for staging, then another one for development. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a right click on the Web App Demo Prod and then do Explore. Now I need to copy the web application published files and paste them here. So I will go ahead again and click on the target location. I will copy all these files and folder. And then I will go to the Web App Demo Prod. I will paste the files here. Perfect. So I will go back to www root. I will do the same thing for the other side. So I will go to the demo dev and paste the application files. Perfect. So I will go back to www root. And then I will go to stage and paste the published files. Perfect. What we need to do now is to go to the IIS and do some configuration for each site. For the Web App Demo Prod, I will click on the configuration editor. And then from this drop-down list, I will go ahead and select system.webserver. Then I will select ASP.NET Core. Under the environment variables, I will add an environment variable. So I will add the environment by clicking on add. The name is ISP net core underscore environment. And the value, it's going to be production. This is the name environment variable that we have in our application. If we go to our application and click on less settings, we can see that for each profile, we have ASP.NET Core environment. So this is a value development for the development profile. And we have a staging for staging profile. And also we have production for production profile. I will go back to IIS and then I will close this window and do apply. Perfect. I will do the same thing for staging. I will go to the configuration editor. Then I will go to the environment variable. I will add the environment variable, which is ASP.NET Core environment. It's going to be staging. Then I will do apply. I will do the same thing for web app demo dev. Configuration editor. I will go to environment variables. Then I will add ASP.NET Core environment with a value development. I will do apply. With that in place, we are good to go to test our application on the IIS server. So if I click on the web app demo-dev, then I click on browse. Remember the port here is 8045 for development. And then for the staging, it's 8046. And for production is 8047. So I will go back again to dev and then run the application or the website. Perfect. The application is pointing to production, even if we are under the website of development environment. The reason why, because the application will point directly to production if there is no environment variable or the environment variable we provide is wrong. That's the reason why the application is pointing to production. So to fix that, we need to go to our application website to see if our environment variable was correct or not. I will go ahead and close the browser. Then I will click on configuration editor of development. Then I will go to the environment variable. Then I will click on it. And I can see that the environment variable name is not the correct name because it has an A. So I will remove that A letter from here. And then I will just close this window and apply. I will do the same thing for staging. I will go to the configuration editor, then environment variable. And you can see here that I have that A here. I will just go ahead and apply. Then I will do the same thing for prod. Environment variable. Then I will click on the environment variable name. And I can see now that I have the ASP.NET Core environment, which is the correct name for the environment variable. So I will close that. And then I will do apply. I will go back to my website for development. And then I will click browse. The website is loading and I can see that I am under the development environment. So the website or the application is pointing to the right appsettings.development.json. So I will close this. And then I will go to stage website and do browse. The website is loading and I can see that I am under the staging, which is the correct value that is coming from the appsettings.staging.json file. I will do the same thing again for production. So I will go to prod website and then click on the browse. So remember, if the environment variable not provided, the application will point directly to the production environment. So with that in place, we were able to publish our ASP.NET Core MVC web application to the IIS with different environment. And we were also able to configure IIS to take which app settings file to show which value for which environment.